Great. Let me see. Let me double check from my end here. Double check. Double check. Test the mic. 1 2 1 2. Test the mic. One, two, test the mic. Great. Let me see. Let me double check from my end here. Double check. Double check. Test the mic. 1 2 1 2. Test the mic. All right. It seems like my sound is perfect. 1 2. Test the mic. Great. Let me see. Let me double check from my end here. Double check. All right, yeah, I think my sound is perfect. I must have a perfect sound. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard to ESOTERIC. All right, let's build our audience for a little bit here. Let's build our audience, and we will start the show here officially. Got to build the audience here. Let me make sure, yeah, I'm good to go. All right, let's build our audience for a little bit here. Let's build our audience. All right, perfect. I think my sound good. Let's do that. I heard something, so let me share. I don't know whether you heard what I heard. Yeah, but let me get to that quickly. I will be right back with some entertainment here. ESOTERIC, share with your friend. And Mr. Panton, how you doing? Welcome aboard.
Hi, hey, I won't tell you letting, but Martin, I won't think. I won't tell you letting, but Martin, I won't think. I hear something, 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 I hear something. Destiny, they can't stop my destiny. 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 So my hoping for me. So my hoping for me. Let's hoping for you. So my hoping for me. You don't want me play a role. I'm done, I'm dead, I'm I hear something, 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 I hear something. I won't tell you letting, but Martin, I won't think. I won't tell you letting, but Martin, I won't think. I hear something, I hear something, I hear something, I hear something, I hear something. I hear something, I hear something, I hear something. You get Gali, but you let potato. 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 You don't want me play a role. I'm done, I'm dead, I'm done. I'm done, I'm dead, I'm done. I'm done, I'm dead, I'm done. Your place boss, respect with. Your place for your respect with. Your place for your respect with. Your place for your respect with. I hear something, 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 I hear something. I won't tell you later, but my thing I want it. I won't tell you later, but my thing I want it. I hear something, 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 I hear something.
Yes, guys, I heard something. And hopefully you heard the same thing I heard. Let's build our audience a little bit here. So share with your friends, guys, as you get on. We have a wonderful show here for you tonight on the Voice of SINOE. All right, let's go for one more commercial here, and then we'll be right back to start the show. Welcome if you're just joining us. This is ESOTERIC coming to you live from Prosper Park, Pennsylvania. Oh, look how that stuff looks. Let's see. Yeah, let's share with your friends. Let's get this right here.
Hello
I'll be right back.
to all my fans around the world. My name is Marie Nyanambo, the queen of traditional music. The only thing I want you to do to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on WhatsApp, I'm on Amo. Just subscribe to my channel. Promote me, my fans. Subscribe to my channel.
Subscribe, guys. Thank you.
Great, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Voice of SINOE in the diaspora with Dark Side for the Esoteric. It's a wonderful night to be back here to have another wonderful conversation with our people. Welcome to all of you again joining us from around the world. Please, as you join the show, just hit the share button for me, and so that others will join us. Mr. Panto, welcome on board. Mr. Cooley Mars, welcome. Mr. James Panton, welcome aboard. I'm seeing also Mr. T, Seminole Panto, and others watching. I'm not seeing all of you, but great. We'll have a great show tonight for you, and hopefully you will participate as usual. As usual, you'll be a full participant on the platform because the show is very rich tonight. But for some reason, I'm not impressed with the turnout, and so I think it seems to be you guys are not sharing, and that's why the turnout looks so not impressive. But we got to build the audience a little bit again. I mean, I can't start with the number of people that I'm looking at right now. And so the people that are on right now, if you can share, that means your friends will know that Dark Side Reporter is on, and they will join the show too, you know. So, I can start the show with 6 persons, at least the ones that I'm seeing right now. So, yeah, the turnout, I need at least a minimum of 20 person to start the show officially. All right, so I'll give you another entertainment and I'll be right back to officially start the show. But as of now, the turnout is not impressive because you're not sharing. You got to share. Sharing is caring, right? That's what the people say. Sharing is caring. So you got to share. I'll be right back, okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Marie Nyenambo. I'm one of the Liberia Traditional Musical Award nominees. You guys vote for me out there. See you in Liberia. I know you will vote for me because I have my fan down there. Vote for me. See you.
Yes, you don't know my future, so don't judge me. All right, wonderful, wonderful. We got to get the show going for the night. Those want to be part of the show, they will watch it later, or they will join us later in the middle of the show. All right, so wonderful, wonderful. Hey, my man, Zach Bawoza, how are you? Welcome aboard. Please hit the share button for me as you view the show. All you have to do is just share. That's it. Nothing big that you have to do tonight. All right, so let's begin the show here. Welcome again from the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And specifically, we are coming to you from Prospect Park, Pennsylvania, these United States of America. Hey, Rolando, welcome aboard. All right, so we're going to begin the show with just a reminder to those in the Tri-State region. If you want to be part of the celebration of the Queen of SANTO County, the Association in the Americas, that's Mercy Santo. Her birthday is coming up pretty soon. So we just wanted to remind you, Madam President, Delaware Valley Chapter, welcome aboard. Please share the link for me. All right, let's get to the image here of this lady. If you don't know who I'm talking about, so that's Mercy Santo. Mercy Santo, her birthday is coming up, will be the 29th of May, which is next month. And also, we like to remind all of our members, especially those in the Delaware Valley area, to be aware of that program. It will be at it's a hall somewhere on Pascal Avenue, and that's where the program will be held. It will be very, very packed and well attended. You know that's a queen of the county, SANTO County. So it's not just Delaware Valley, but the county sign where we are from. So a lot of people will be coming to that celebration. She will be turning 14 officially on the 29th of May. All right, so that's Mercy. We just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Those are joining. So Delaware Valley Chapter Chair Lady just joined us. Welcome aboard, Magina Smith. Hit the share button for me, please. I got the Nathaniel Gatti, how you doing, Junior? I'm sure. Comrade shared just hit that share link for me, and welcome to the show. All right, so tonight, Voice of SINOE is the eyes and the ears and everything for the citizens of SANTO County in these United States and those back home. So when Voice of SINOE comes on, everybody will be tuning, which is good, because we don't come here to give you fabrications. We give you unembellished facts. So tonight we are here again to give you facts to build to add on to your repertoire. All right. So we asked the question: what is in the factual room of Voice of SINOE? And if you are a newcomer to Voice of SINOE, we'll have two rooms on this platform. or should I say 3, we'll have the miscellaneous room as well. But we'll have the factual room and the speculation room. So when information is coming from the speculation room, it has some facts to it, but the evidence is lacking. And so we call that speculation. And then in the factual room, any information that is coming from the factual room, that's unimpeachable facts. You can't deny it, you can't refute it. It's irrefutable. All right, so that's what we're about to do tonight for you on the show. And we want to ask a basic question. The basic question we want to start the show with tonight is called, does power corrupt man or man corrupts power? And that's the fundamental question we're going to be philosophizing on first from the beginning of the show. Does power corrupt man or man corrupts power? Well, it was the one thinker who said, I think it was a Lord Acton, who said, power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Well, that's how you put it. Being somebody who reflects, who thinks about things that he reads, things that people say. Do I agree with Lord Acton when he says power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely? I bear to differ. I think power does not corrupt people. Power does not corrupt people. As a matter of fact, I will opine that power is neutral. Power is neither negative or positive. It's neutral. So if power does not corrupt people, does that mean man corrupts power? Well, I would answer in the affirmative. Men, not all, you got to understand, when I say man, I'm talking about the gender, the species, the human species. When I say man, just replace that word man with human or human beings. So that's what I'm talking about. So man, which comes in pair, male and female. You see, again, I just told you power is neutral. And so you have different kinds of human beings. You have different people with different ideologies, different philosophies, with different doctrines, with different upbringings. And so they bring their values to power. And so that's where I differ with Lord Acton. Power, he said, power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. I think it is men, the corrupt men, unethical men, are the ones that corrupt power. Power does not corrupt. Because I know noble men in history who were not corrupted by power. I can think of, for example, the Roman Emperor, Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius was one of the most powerful men in the world. He was the emperor of just think about Rome, the Roman Empire. He could do anything to anybody at any time. But he was a stoic philosopher. And so Marcus Aurelius, if somebody is doing something wrong, for example, sometimes he wants to do something. He wants to take action, but then he has to think to himself, Marcus Aurelius, should you have to do that? This is the man who wrote a whole book to himself. They call the Meditation. If you get time, you go and grab Marcus Aurelius's Meditation. The man is just thinking. Before he takes action, he has to say human beings are corrupt people by nature. And so why punish somebody who is by nature corrupt? And so he was one of the noble men. He looked after the people. And we can go on and on naming good leaders in history who did not corrupt power. On the other hand, there are leaders in history who bring their values, their philosophy, their diabolical philosophy, their divisive philosophy to power. And so as a consequence, they corrupt power. I can think of one leader, for example, the called Charles Taylor, who was the former president of Liberia. He brought his diabolical philosophy to Liberia, and so he suppressed the people. We can think about Idi Amin. It's another guy who corrupted power. And so power does not corrupt men. It is corrupt men that corrupt power. So in like manner, in the same vein, I just told you leaders about countries. But you see, the same thing applies to the United SARPO Association. At one point, we had a leader called Obaku Yima. Or prior to that, we had people before him, the likes of Kalejabale Foley. We can go backwards into other leaders. But I want to start with Obaku because I am far more familiar with his administration. Obaku Yima was the president post-conflict. The United SARPO Association was in the mire of conflict for 7 years. And so after the likes of Idipua, Asikana, and others, they went to work, they negotiated, and they were able to bridge the gap between the two forces at the time, the national president, Madam Kalejabale Foley, and on the other hand, Mr. Charles Kroji. And so those statesmen and those great people, they were able to reconcile our union, bring the people back together on one umbrella. And so Obaku came to power. There was an election held in Pennsylvania. He relegated Honorable Kai Wule, and he led the organization with nobility. He led the organization with the philosophy of egalitarianism, with equality, basically. He led the organization without discrimination. He led with humility, with respect, with dignity, with professionalism. He used to travel around the country. He lives in Florida. He used to fly around the country, visit the various leaders, various chapters, having consultations, trying to understand the issues that they are grappling with. And so he led greatly. And honor is the man who was honoring at the time, Jiko Geleo. Basically, he was in coma. He practically abandoned Obaku Yima. He wasn't actively involved. So as a consequence, he did not properly imbibe. He did not properly imbibe the philosophy, the egalitarian philosophy of Mr. Obaku Yima. And so fast forward 2017, or if I go back a little bit, 2016, in Florida, the members of the United SARPO Association, they congregated in Florida. And there a decision was reached. By then, Mr. Charles Kroji wanted to be the national leader. But then the leaders or the powers that be at the time, they arm twisted Mr. Charles Kroji. They played the game at the time. The philosophy was that because Mr. Obaku Yima did extremely well, and therefore his vice president should continue his legacy. And that was the greatest mistake. Or should I say mistake? No, that was the greatest blunder in the history of the United SARPO Association in Americas. Obaku gave the administration, the United SARPO Association, to Mr. Green Geleo on silver platter. Everything was in tight. The members were imbued with elation to participate in the activities of the organization. And so the president He brought again, power does not corrupt man, it's man that corrupts power. So President Geleo brought his personal philosophy to power. And so an organization that was entitled, after 3 years under the administration of Geleo, the organization started to fork or polarize or go in different direction. The members start to balkanize. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing the reflection to bring you to something here. Geleo, when he started all the chapters in the union, they were elected the presidents of the various chapters, they were on board. They came to Pennsylvania in 2018. It was a wonderful convention. Over $75,000 was raised. North Dakota, 2019, a brand new chapter. Or the former president used to say, the baby of the union. North Dakota at the time generated over 50,000 United States dollars. Now, the one vibrant union right now, Honor Obaku, is now going, the members are going in polar opposite directions right now because of the current leadership. The leader has corrupted power. He wants to become an absolute leader. And so he has brushed the Constitution aside. Now, this brings me to the next question, which is, has the coronavirus crisis been eradicated? Has the coronavirus crisis been eradicated? And there is a reason why I'm asking the question. The current president of the USA, Mr. Geleo, or should I say, former president, I should say, just to be correct. I'm used to calling you a president. And he is a president. Excuse me, guys. Let me get something here quickly that I want to share with you. I just wanted to reflect on something quickly. Now, the former president, Mr. Geleo, let me see. I want to bring something up here. Mr. Geleo, ladies and gentlemen, if you follow the last show, we read different documents. We'll give you the chronology of the activities of the United SARPO Association with respect to the growing conflict between the board of directors and the National Executive Committee. And because of the irreconcilable differences between the two bodies, the elders of the union that came in. You got to understand the SARPO culture. The elders are the peace brokers. And so because of the intransigence of President Geleo, he refused to adhere to the board of directors, their recommendations and their advice and stuff like that. And so the elders came in and gave some recommendations. The board willingly, holistically accepted all the recommendations from the elders. Contrarily, Geleo replied after 4 to 5 months, because he does things his own way. He forgets to know that he is on the leadership gavel of the board of directors. If you look at the Constitution, the president cannot do anything without consultation, without their approval. Everything should be with the consent of the board of directors. And so I'm asking the question, has the coronavirus crisis been eradicated? The president wrote the other day the communication he addressed to the board of directors. This is something he said. Something he said, It was dated January the 23rd, 2021. And I read the communication, but I want to make a point, and that's why I want to read the communication again. The president wrote, "Dear elder group or team, this communication serves as a response to the recommendations inscribed in your report dated September 12, 2020. We want to sincerely thank you for the role you have played thus far for mediating between the executive officers and members of the board of directors to ensure consistency in our noble union. Having thoroughly perused your revised recommendation, we are pleased to make the following modifications/determinations. 1, the president said that we agree that the executive officers and the board of directors remain in power and work together until general elections are held pending the eradication and resolution of the coronavirus crisis." And that's where I took that question from. The president said, pending, when you say pending, the eradication. So when you say eradicate, it means that something has to be eliminated before certain thing can be done. The president said he wants to be in power until the global pandemic is over or it is eradicated. But on the other hand, the scientific community, they have told us that the virus is here to stay. So the president is saying, until the virus is over, before he can constitute an electoral commission. I mean, at face value, it sounds benevolent. It seems like the president, he loves us. He's trying to protect us. But lugubriously, he does not. The president will say, we should wait for the virus to be over. Meanwhile, he travels around the world. He goes to functions without wearing masks. They dance, they do everything. But when it comes time to set an electoral commission for the members of the United SARPO Association to elect the leaders or leader at the national level, the leaders or leaders of their choice, the president will procrastinate. He would fail to do that. And so for 2 years, the president practically refused to constitute an electoral commission. Well, to make long story short, the board of directors, given that the president constituted or allowed time has expired, given that the president has been no longer covered by the Constitution, the board said the noble thing, the right thing to do, since we are an organization of law, we have to come in. So the board came in. Not too long, less than a month, they constituted the electoral commission that will lead us, that will conduct the election in Florida in August. Now, the very man, which by man I mean President Geleo, the former president, the man who procrastinated for 2 years or practically refused to constitute an electoral commission, upon the release of the board of directors, the names of the commissioners, the president, in a slapdash fashion, put out some names yesterday. And so we're going to look at the names, and we're going to look at the constitutionality of those names or the commission that the president appointed. That's the next thing we're about to talk about now. Since I'm assuming since the president has established an electoral commission, it means that the COVID-19 is over. That's what it means. That's my interpretation. Because he say he should remain in power until the pandemic is over. That's what I mean. So let's see what President Geleo got for us here. So I'll bring the next talking point here before I bring that. So I said former national president of USAAG Geleo appoints elections commission without constitutional backing and or consent of the board of directors. So at every point, at every step of the way, the president is operating outside the paradigm of the Constitution, outside the circumference of the Constitution. Number one, the board of directors are now in charge of the organization. Hence, the president cannot appoint another commission. Where is he getting his authority from? Where? From the blue sky? Or from the fingerful of people that are supporting him? Few elements. And the president, the other day when he responded to the board of directors, the communication, 2-page communication, and there was not a syllable from the Constitution that he cited. They just gave us venom. They just gave us some angry words, an amalgamation of sentiments. That's what the president gave us. In the latest announcement or communication that was published yesterday, and I got it this morning when I got her, my inbox was inundated with messages. Yeah, they called me because I needed some rest, so I went to bed a little early. And when the communication was published to my informates, they were sending a lot of stuff to me. And so when I woke up this morning, I had this culture of perusing, going in my inbox and looking through the various media outlets to see what is trending. And so the first communication I saw, I'm not going to disclose the identity of my great informant. So they sent that communication to me, and I imbibed that communication. And upon reading that, I lamented on the inside. I basically cried, and I was asking myself rhetorical questions. How did you get this guy? What did the SARPO people do wrong? But then after reflection, I came to the realization that, when people are zealous, when people are over enthusiastic about something, sometimes they don't do a deep reflection. And so because of the euphoria from the administration of Mr. Obaku, the members were enthusiastic to propel President Geleo to the helm of power. And so the enthusiasm of the people, the powers that be at the time, the enthusiasm has led us into a conundrum. How do we get out of the conundrum? Well, we are all brainstorming. We're going to brainstorm, continue to brainstorm. But I think that there should not be a conundrum. There shouldn't be. Because if the president indeed took oath, if the president understands the Constitution, if he took oath to defend and protect and obey the Constitution, we shouldn't be at this point. Because the Constitution is unambiguously clear, is incandescently clear, is limpidly clear. But again, man corrupt power. Power doesn't corrupt man. The man that we have at the helm of authority has corrupted power. The man is inebriated with power, so he does not want to listen. Inebriation is a fancy word for intoxication or drunk. When you're drunk with something, let me see, the philosopher Federal Nietzsche said there are two things, or two narcotics. And you need them as follows: alcohol, and the second one is religion. And the reason he did that, he said, because religion comes with power as well. So when you drink alcohol, especially when you are intoxicated, you don't make sound decisions. The same thing when you are a religious zealous like my comrade Richard, for example. You sometimes you put your education aside, you put your critical thinking aside, and then religion has blinding, has obscured your mind's eye. And so those are the two things according to Nietzsche, the philosopher. But our power there as well. People sometimes they get drunk with power and they don't listen to others. They don't listen to the hoi polloi. They don't listen to the majority. Because ours is an organization whose leaders are elected based on majoritarianism. Now, so President Geleo put out a commission. Now, let's look at, we're going to analyze, again, we're going to do, because my job here is not just come here to batch. My job here is to educate, to inform, to activate your critical thinking cells. And so we're going to look at the commission that was published by Green Code Geleo yesterday. Let's look at the composition of the commission. Let me go to the communication quickly. Okay, this one right here, this is from the board. This is the board's communication here. I think when they no, that's the wrong one over there. This is this one is from the board. That's the legitimate members of the Electoral Commission, the legitimate. So if you don't know that, let me reiterate. I read it the other day, but some people they were not on, and so let me share the legitimate Electoral Commission that you have to listen to, and not the kangaroo one that was constituted by the president. And I'm using that word president because President Geleo said the man served up before and the title remains with him. And that's why I'm calling him president. Let me see. So the communication that is on the screen, that's when the board of directors they made an appointment. It was last week. So ladies and gentlemen, president of the various chapters within our union, the United SARPO Association in Americas, the board of directors of the United SARPO Association in Americas is pleased to appoint the below listed distinguished personalities to serve as commissioners on the General Elections Commission of USA for elections scheduled to be held in August 2021 in Jacksonville, Florida. The appointment takes immediate effect. The names of those appointed are as follows. One, let me showcase the members again if you were not here the first time so you can know them. I'd like to show you on the images here for a second. Let me see here. Hopefully I didn't take the images down. Apparently I did. All right, sorry for that. So I'll just call the names. So the names are, we got the chairman, Mr. Stanley Thomas Sewan. He's the chairman from Texas. Reverend Jackson Camo. Reverend Jackson Camo is the co-chairman or vice chair. One, he's from the Delaware Valley. We have Mr. Simile T. Panton, the general secretary for the commission from Minnesota. You got Mr. Alice Cole, member from Iowa. You got Ms. Vivian Pratt, member from North Carolina. So if you look at the composition of this team, is eclectic, meaning that the members are from all over. They choose people from practically every chapter in the union. All right. Those were the names that the board gave us, and these names are the legitimate. Those are the people you have to obey. Those are the people when they send out the guidelines,
you conduct yourself in keeping with their guidelines. Now let's get to this one right here. This is what Geleo wrote yesterday and published basically last night. And so let's go through it. So, the president does not take us seriously, so he does anything. I just put the board of directors, right? And you get a letterhead and everything is professional, But President Geleo, he does everything sloppily. He doesn't care. Yes. So we don't have our letterhead. The reason he didn't put the letterhead, he knows that he's not a legitimate leader. So it makes, he will be committing further infractions, to have added the letterhead of our organization, whereas he's not an executive anymore. So he just went on a Facebook page and wrote this. Office of the President, United SARPO Association in Americas. Okay, we don't know where the president lives. Okay, you see, it was written April 27, 2021, and it's a reference appointments. In keeping, listen to what the president said, right? Listen to that. In keeping with the Constitution and the mandate of the General Assembly. Okay, let's stop right there. When you say in keeping with the Constitution, Mr. President, you see, if you just say in keeping with the Constitution and you don't give a precise clause or, an article in the Constitution that you are quoting and you just say in keeping with the Constitution, then we, in our minds, at least in my mind, I think something is wrong. You are hiding something from us. When you say in keeping with the Constitution, you should say maybe Article 2. This, section 2.2. Then we'll go there and see exactly what you are talking about. But the president is playing mind games on us here. He will say, according to our organic law, but he will not give a provision in the organic law that backs him, that he is citing. So he will just be vague. All right. So is it in keeping with the Constitution and a mandate of the General Assembly? Did the members of the United SARPO Association give their mandate to the president? Yes, they did. But how long is it now? About 3 years. They gave him 3 years mandate. Okay? That's what the people gave him. They gave him 3 years mandate. Now 4 years. So after the 3 years, per the Constitution, President Geleo is operating outside the bracket of the Constitution. And that is why he didn't give a constitutional provision. Okay, so it's in keeping with the Constitution and the mandate of the General Assembly. I hereby appoint the following persons to serve on the 2021 USA Elections Commission. Okay, now, he just gave her that sentence. If you read the whole thing, because if you read the board of directors, they said in Florida 2020, August, Florida, the president just said 2021 USA election. Which month? When are we having the convention? All the details were left out. But there is a reason why. The guy is playing games on the people here. And in the era, in the epoch of dark side, for the esoteric, all shenanigans will be exposed. I'm not going to sit down here for a group of people to manipulate our people. No. I am the rooster. I am the lone voice in the wilderness county. I'm telling the people, when you are doing the right thing, I will come here and shower you with laudation. I will shower you with panegyric. But if you are going the contrary, you will get righteous bashing. I will bash you righteously. I will bash you equitably, fairly, ethically. I'm not going to do it with malice, but I will do it with joy. I will do it with passion, but I will do it in a way that it will be stern. And so I want to make sure the same way I'm campaigning to eject Senator Tiaje from the Congress in Liberia, I want to do everything for Mr. Geleo to kowtow to the power of the people. We empower him. He cannot become a totalitarian overnight. He cannot become a tyrant overnight. No, that's how you put that. I am the panacea to tyrants. I'm going to deal with you in a way that You yourself, you say, no, I'm sick of the moral vibration of Dr. Ayopo the esoteric, therefore I will relinquish power. Green Kojirio will kowtow, he will genuflect on the potency of my advocacy. I'm going to do that. And so Green gave us this. In keeping with the Constitution and the mandate of the General Assembly, he is quoting a General Assembly somewhere in a utopia. It doesn't exist right now. Some sort of imaginary General Assembly President Geleo is quoting here. Or perhaps the few elements in Minnesota that are pushing him to do the wrong thing. Maybe those are the people you call General Assembly. Okay. So he said the names of the people he gave her here. Number one, I will call their names and put the image out there for you. So you can know, I think I should call them the Bocas Commission. But I say unconstitutional, just so we can be a little euphemistic and professional. And so he put here Priscilla Kennedy Tapedo. She's the chairperson. It's a lady right here. Why is it delaying? That's Priscilla Tapedo. And that's the, according to Green Geleo, that's the chairperson for his imaginary commission. Okay, that's the lady. Now, I will do an analysis on each appointee of the president. Madam Tapedo is a member of the Delaware Valley chapter of the United SARPO Association. But we have to make something clear to you. Madam Tapedo is a campaign manager for President Geleo in the Delaware Valley. And so how can you make your campaign chairman the chair for the Electoral Commission? How fair, how independent would she be? Wouldn't she cheat to make you win? You have to understand, they say independent Electoral Commission. The woman is not independent. So why are you making your chair of the Electoral Commission? It is clear that Madam Tapedo is in President Geleo's corner. She advocates around here for Green, even though Green is in the mire of wrongness. He's wrong. But she's advocating. I mean, I got respect for her. But when I want to do the right thing, I got to do the right thing at all times. Always. Madam Tapedo participated in the polarization of the United SARPO Association in the past. She took side with Charles Clergy. They divided the organization. And now the United SARPO Association President Geleo has taken the organization on the precipice of division. And now she has come in. Why? Why is she taking a position when she knows full well that President Geleo's constitutional allowed time has expired? Why would she condone that? And so Madam Tapedo willingly accepted President Geleo Boca's appointment. Number two, the chairperson, the next person on the appointed by President Geleo is Madam Carla Shigbe. Madam Carla Shigbe, co-chairman. Again, Madam Carla Shigbe, like Madam Tapedo, she is the political crusader, even though this is a non-political organization, but they have transmogrified the organization into a political entity. And so she is the political crusader for President Geleo in Minnesota. The lady as well is the chair for the membership committee of the United SARPO Association. Yet President Geleo made her co-chair on the Electoral Commission. Is she an independent person? Again, it's independent Electoral Commission. We want somebody who is disinterested, somebody who will not be biased. And it is clear already these people, they are taking side. So Madam Carlos Shigbe is a bogus appointee. We are not politically gullible to kowtow to President Geo shenanigans. No. Now, I had a telephone conversation with Madam Madam Carlo today. We had a brief conversation. It was it was friendly, although it was a little stern. And I purposely call all the appointees to get their view whether they actually agree with President Geo. I called the quote unquote the chairperson. She didn't call me back. I left my phone number and all of that. She didn't call me back, so we can't wait for her to continue with the show. I spoke with the so-called co-chair, and she confirmed to me that yes, I agree. I accepted the position with alacrity. Now, you see, Madam Carla Shebed, she's a potential candidate for SANTO County Electoral District number 3. She wants to contest. She announced that to us already. You see, if somebody would be a good leader, you can see it from the genesis. One would have thought that Madam Carla Shebed would be neutral, would be one of those people that will put in place mechanisms to bring the organization together. But she decided to take a side. Now, this gives us a signal as to who she will be when she becomes a lawmaker. She will be a constitutional deviant. She will be somebody who will not respect the law. Green Code Geleo is not respecting our law, but she is supporting the man. But she wants to be a lawmaker in Liberia. So this is a bad political step for her. If I were her, I will withdraw, I will recuse myself from this Booker Commission. I would have done that long, but she was saying it happily today that she'll be part of the commission, and they are brainstorming right now where to carry where the convention should go. And we're listening to her. Is she serious? She was in North Dakota last convention, and the General Assembly, they voted where the next convention should go. And that is what I told you. It's a trick that what President Geo did not measure the location, the venue, the time, because the guys are doing something different. So she said, well, we have to have a meeting to decide the location. The location has been decided already by the General Assembly. And the Constitution is clear on that. Let's go into the picture of the Constitution a little bit here. The Constitution of the United SARPO Association, it says here, General Assembly, that's Article 12 of the Constitution, Section 1.2. It says the General Assembly shall be the highest and final decision-making body of the United SARPO Association in Americas. All decisions of the body shall be binding all members and chapters of the association. All members of the General Assembly shall comprise of all due-paying members of the association. Now, there are key words in what I just read. Article 12 of the Constitution, it speaks about the General Assembly. The General Assembly shall be the highest, nothing about that. When you are doing English, when you do the various degrees of adjectives. So you got the base, you got the comparative, and you got the superlative. So the authors, the writers of the Constitution, they use the superlative degree, not to beyond that. They say the highest, not to beyond highest. And they also say final. When something is final, nothing beyond final. They don't have something like extra final. No. Then you are inventing your own language. So they say highest and final decision-making body. So the body has made a decision in North Dakota. And they say the decision is next convention is going to Florida, Jacksonville. But Madam, the co-chair for Geleo's administration commission, they said they are now going to have a meeting to decide where the next convention should go. Well, that means President Geleo is the highest decision-making body of the organization now. It's not the Constitution. It's not the General Assembly. During the days in the era of dark side, you put there, I will not look at these wrongs to unfold, and then we'll keep them beyond the same. They will be brought to the limelight. They will be brought to the beautiful light of day. Light will shine on those bogus things that people do around you. They hide. And so the guys are now trying to circumvent the power of the General Assembly, the decision that the people made. And I say some decisions. They say all decisions. You see, the Constitution is using absolute universal language. All decisions of the body shall be binding. When something is binding on you, it's obligatory, it's mandatory, it's imperative. You can't do otherwise. So, but now the guys say they have to brainstorm to go somewhere else. So that's Madam Carol Shibwe. She's the co-chair for Geleo's Bookers Commission. Yes. The crusader for Geleo, the campaign crusader for Geleo in Minnesota, the campaign chairperson for President Geleo in the Delaware Valley. She is the chair. Also, these two people, they are friends. President Geleo, he's smart. He thinks he's smart. He put two friends on the commission to serve. And the people are demonstrating it, that they are good friends. This is why they publish the image today, to tell that we are bodies and we are coming. When the people give a chance, we cheat for Geleo. Because when something is going around, that the two bodies, they're going to move from behind each other. No. We can't be our session. We can't be our president. We got to do everything. If it costs us to manipulate the ballots, we're going to do it. How can you put two friends to be, one is the chair and the other one the co-chair, and you want that thing to pass with that? Are you put that? Oh no. Oh no, President Geleo. You are blundering. You don't let me make a mistake. You are blundering. So the two friends, the co-chair and the chair, the campaign chairman for Delaware Valley and the campaign chairman for Minnesota chapter. Let's go to the next one. President Geleo is a funny guy. So now he got this. He got the people that will be campaigning that are campaigning for him to conduct our election according to him. So the next person, he got this gentleman right here. Mula Panto. Mula Panto, he's the secretary, according to President Geleo. And I think this face is, when I saw the image, or the images, he is novel. The face is novel. It's new to me. And so I didn't want to just come here and just post somebody strange, even though President Geleo put it on the internet already. But I don't want to exacerbate the situation. And so as an investigative philosophical thinker, I decided to reach out to, I did my research and I obtained the number of Mr. Panto. And we had a good conversation. He is well schooled. I mean, assuming that this commission was legitimate, I would have preferred him to be the chair for the commission than to make Madam Tapedo the head. The guy, I mean, for the few minutes I talked to him, the man is quite erudite, educated guy. He was asking critical questions, and those are kind of people I like to talk to. I don't want somebody who I can linguistically, bamboozle easily. I want somebody to engage me and ask the critical questions. And so the man pressed me. He was asking, "Who are you? And what is your occupation? What is your modus operandi for which you call me? What is your modus vivendi?" You're asking all these questions. I said, but this man is intellectually inundated. And so I have to put myself in an esoteric shell to engage the brother. And so I elucidated, I answered his questions professionally. And after my elucidation, the brother was to understand, he's understandable. And he gave me a little bit of his credentials. The man is a progressive. And those guys, this is one of the guys that fought for the liberation of our country. He was part of the struggle. So what that means is Mr. Panto does not get in the middle of a commotion. He gets in the middle of things when people are suppressed. He fought for the liberation of our people in the country. And so he will not come here. He told me, my brother, I am pretty, relatively speaking, new in the U.S. and I'm not too familiar or current with the activities of the United SARPO Association. So the first thing I did was I requested for the Constitution. You see, that's what intellectual educated people do. Because when you come in an environment, the first thing you do, you acclimate yourself with the various documents or things around you. Read what is unfolding before you opine on something. So the guy said the first thing I did, I requested for the Constitution, and I'm perusing it. I'm going through it right now. Okay, so he told me that. He said, Doc, so we talk. He said, but are you the SINOE there? Then I said, yeah, this is the great SINOE there. And he told me, Doc, I cannot tell you what I will serve on the commission or I will not serve. But what I can tell you for sure is that my goal right now is for the organization to remain whole. And therefore, I will not jump in the middle of commotion. I cannot join in the middle when there is an altercation in the community. And so from what he said, I deduced that he's not going to participate on this Kangaroo Commission, this unconstitutional commission of President Geleo. Information that came into the speculation room, we were told Mr. Panto is actually angry because he was not pre-informed before his name was published. And so he said, my brother, I will come out with my official position sooner rather than later. And so given the progressive credential of this this didactic senior company, we can predict for sure he will be playing the role of persuading President Geleo to get on board with the legitimate team, the team that is covered by the Constitution. By that I mean the board of directors. And so the great progressive and told me I'm not going to jump in the middle of conflict to conduct election. And so right now, I think President Geleo will have to find another campaign manager to put on that. Because this is the only man that is not a campaign manager for him. He's the only neutral man. Now, I mean, assuming that the commission stays on, it would have still been a problem for Dr. Ayopode. I was told that Madam Carla Shebe, that's her husband. Whether they are divorced or not, I don't know the details on that. But how can you put a couple on the electoral commission? So something is fundamentally wrong. So the whole commission has problem. It has problem. Okay, so that's Mr. Panto, the man that Geleo appointed as the secretary, but from the local things, he's not going to sit on that commission. The next person that Geleo put on this commission is his only political supporter, his only campaigner, the only person that supported him in the state of Iowa. T.A. Cleon. That's another man that President Geleo appointed to conduct election. I mean, this guy was recently in Liberia with Greco Geleo, and they were on the same platform, and the man was president. This is my campaigner in Iowa, and that. And this is the same man put on a commission to conduct election. I mean, do you think we are not following the activities in the union? And this is the only man. I mean, the reason I said the only man, Dave Cooley, is a flip flapper. He's not straight. So today, Dave Cooley will say one thing, and the next thing he'll say different thing. So Cleon is the only man that is the marionette for President Geleo in Clark, Iowa. Sorry, he's the only man. So the campaign manager for President Geleo in Iowa has now been placed on the Electoral Commission. This is a guy who doesn't say no to President Geleo. When he's doing everything wrong, he presses Geleo. But then Geleo boy on the Election Commission, how fair would the guy be? He would not be fair. He's not independent. Again, independent Electoral Commission. Cleon is not independent. All right. So the next person, President Geleo put here, is this beautiful lady right here, Judy. And put Judy. Judy is from Utah. She attended the convention in Pennsylvania. So I think she was in North Dakota as well. Mommy Judy Doe. They put Judy there on the commission as well. And Judy is also a campaign manager for Geleo in Utah. She is a friend of Sophia Capet. And it was Sophia Capet that recommended her to President Geleo to go there and manipulate our ballots. I mean, President Geleo couldn't find independent people. See the board of directors, the composition. Those people are neutral people. They are not associated with any team. They are not with President Myers' team. They are not with President Geleo team. But President Geleo, for whatever reason, the man continues to blunder. Is it because he is discombobulated? He's confused? I think so. Because when you are confused, you know, the Christian, I have some Christians, I mean, let me not say some. The organization is 99.99% Christians. And so now the people pray, you know, the both sides, you know, Geleo side and the Myers side, you know, so they all have I don't know whether they praise to the same God. But so now the other people, President Myers' side, the people can pray more so that they are going to expose President Geleo tricks. Expose the matrix. He said, put it to shame, put it to shame, put it to shame. You know, and they can be singing that song. So the goal of the other side, put President Geleo to shame and expose the campaign manager. He put on the team so they can cheat for him. He told the man to us, I will win the election whether he carry on the ground or not. And because he wants to bring his own campaign manager to conduct election for us. And we are not going to allow that. No. No way. No way. So what I want to do here, I just show you the members of the composition of the Bogus Electoral Commission of President Geleo. And so they have no legitimacy whatsoever. President Geleo did not cite one constitution provision. Let me read the whole thing. In keeping with the Constitution and the mandate of the General Assembly, I hereby appoint the following person to serve on the 2021 USA Elections Commission. No venue, no month. God is planning their own thing. Priscilla Kennedy Tapedo, chairperson, campaign manager for Pennsylvania for Geleo. Carlos Shebed, co-chairperson, campaign mobilization person for President Geleo in Minnesota, and also the chair for the membership mobilization committee of the USAA. I don't know how she's going to do it. Let's assume something comes up because the membership committee, they got to, I don't know whether she has a database for all the members because according to the Constitution, she has to have a database for all the members in the union. So when something goes wrong, because those are the people we're supposed to go to validate who is a member and who is not a member. But now President Geleo has placed the woman on the Electoral Commission. So we have to go to the second person? No. She has the committee, she has a job, she's still present. If she's absent, and we say, okay, we can take the deputy, even though there is no deputy, you know. Nobody's deputizing her. She is the alpha and the omega on that commission, the membership commission. And so how can you pour on the electoral commission? You see? Yes. And so Mola Panto, the man, I'm pretty sure he not going to participate. Mami Judy Doe, campaign chairperson for President Geleo in Utah, and Tia Cleo, the only campaign supporter of President Geleo in Iowa. Those are the people he put there and say, congratulations, guy, and thank you for your preferment. Best regards. Signed. Andrew B. Usaa, Secretary General USAA, and he put here, approve G. Geleo, National President, USA. All right. And I think I talked to Mr. Usaa the other day. I respect him. I still respect him very hard. We share a certain thing in common. He's very hardworking, and that's something he's very quite professional as well. But for Mr. Usaa to tag himself, to link himself, to liaise himself with President Geleo, to ruin his impeccable record, and that's a serious problem. That's a serious problem for me. I wish he could change his mind to stop supporting these bad things of President Geleo. You can't support President Geleo when he is going wrong. And I was listening to some audio the other day, and he was saying, I'm the crafter of the Constitution, because somebody asked a question and said, besides the General Assembly, is there anybody? Is there anybody or a body, maybe teleconference that can approve projects and stuff like that? I mean, he wasn't specific, If you say you're a crafter of the Constitution, then you give a constitutional reference and say yes or not. But he just made some vague remarks on that. Yeah, so those are the commission. But what I want to do here next is look at your comments, and we're going to look at the legitimacy of the two electoral commission. Which commission has the legitimacy to conduct election? Which one is covered by the Constitution? Is it the Geleo's bookers and a campaign team that he amalgamated to conduct election, or the independent and the non-aligned team of the board of directors? So let me look at your comments, and you are also let me see. I didn't put my crawler there. Let me see. Let me put a crawler. I just did that. The numbers on the crawler there. You can always participate. If you want to speak on anything, you can call me, or you can simply say send me the link, and I will do so. I like to just go through some of your comments that are trending right now and see what the viewers are saying. And then we'll look at the Constitution and which body has a constitutional backing. All right, we're gonna figure that out. So Manja Smith said I meant to say Tia, and Tia is my very good friend, but at this point I'm so disappointed. All right, you see the President Geleo team we're talking about. Clara Romano, thanks for watching, sir. The Queen of SANTO County is laughing over there. What tickled you? Share that with me. Haha. We really inside. Yeah, we are. She was with Isa. We Isa for true. We Isa. I know, right? Oh Lord, we will die with book tonight. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Sometimes the guys that the great Patrick Boyaba said, when it's part of you, it can be coming out like a rattle of the gong. You'll be coming out like that. I know as GS, what did we do wrong? And then here I'm saying the vice president of the Florida chapter, the people, we have sent our money in the deposit for the hall, or should I say halls, the people they had secured those buildings already, and the people said they had to brainstorm again to get another deposit for our cows so they can go rent another venue. The people, their game here, President Geleo's plan is to just empty the account and then he leaves. That's what he wants to do. And we are following him. We want to make sure that he doesn't squander all the money before he leaves office. That's what he's planning to do. Let me see the call coming in here. Hey, Mr. Shebe. Yeah. Yeah, let me see. Yeah.
You
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, you are clear. You're on the Voice of SANTO. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, just following your show tonight, and I just want to make a little contribution.
You are obliged.
Thank you, Dak, and thank you to.
Hello?
All right.
Yeah, I think you got another device on. Could you load that, please? At the back.
Okay, hold on. I think it's my phone. Yeah, just a second. I think it's on now.
Okay.
Yeah, just a second. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, you're good.
Hello?
Yeah, you are good. Go ahead.
Okay. So, I say I've been following your show tonight, and I just want to make a little contribution concerning some of the things that have been going on in our organization. The fact that we have the Constitution, which is the supreme document of our organization, and the most thing that sometimes a little bit make people to think, like, for example, there are things within the Constitution that some of the people like Mr. Geleo and some of his followers agreed on, but there are certain things that they don't agree on. Like, for example, we went to during 2017, the Constitution was amended that extended the president's term to 3 years in office. And before that, can you hear me?
Yes, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay, before that, when President Obama was in office, he only served 2 years, each week he served like 4 years, and then he departed the same. Well, when during 2017, the Constitution was amended and extended the time of the president, the term of the president to 3 years. Mr. Geleo has enjoyed that. He enjoyed the 3 years past. There was no any argument about that. He also enjoyed the one each have been given every year for presidential allowance. He also enjoyed that. There was no confusion about that. But now, when the term is over and the board make a decision that under the Constitution and no longer president, they have people around here trying to create confusion in the organization. And I don't understand that, because the fact that you cannot have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways. We either have an organization that will have a document of respect, and you should know that what you want in the Constitution, what portion of the document that you prefer, that's the one that you like. It's not how it works. Right. And I want those that are watching your show tonight to understand that the recent decision made by the board is in the interest of the organization. Nobody in the organization wants confusion, and nobody hate anybody. We have to do the right thing, and we have to move forward. We have to do the right thing. Mr. Geleo is welcome to participate in the election in Florida in August of this year. Likewise, or any other person have the opportunity to participate in the election. So all the rap and roll or noise going on in the community, these things we have to stop, and we have to stop. So Mr. Geleo should know fully well that he's no longer president for the organization. When you go places that he continue to call himself president, that's up to him. But as far as some are concerned, I want to see the right thing be done. He's no longer serving as president for the organization. And the truth is, his term is over long term. Since August last year, Mr. Geleo was his term earning a 3-year term that was given him on our constitution that expired. The board decided to work with them, the executive, but they decided not to listen to anything that the board even offer on the table. We have to make progress. We have to move forward. We have to make progress. So that's all I want to contribute.
Thank you so much. You spoke very well. But I mean, you said we should make progress. I mean, how do we make the progress when the president is not willing to yield to you guys recommendations and whatever you are doing?
Well, that is up to the on the constitution. The board is in charge. It's the second in command after the General Assembly, based on how the Constitution was written. So now the board is in charge, and this is not going to be like a fight. People have to fight over, or what's going on. I know that I'm not speaking. I'm not going to speak what the board would do. I mean, what the people. I mean, we're going to convention in August. 4 months from now, we'll be in Florida, and that will be up to the SARPO to decide at the convention. What will be the next course of action if Mr. Geleo decides not to come to the convention? I know they still have, like most people always concerned about the money that's in the organization account that is still in their possession. Those issues will be put on the table, and the people will decide the next course of action. Milton Shibber would not make a determination on that, although I'm still on the board of directors, but it's not something that I want to make a decision about that right now. But I believe at the convention, that what we have in the convention, because the General Assembly is a higher decision-making body, and whatsoever that the delegates will decide at the convention will be the final judgment towards any other action.
Yeah, but I spoke with Madam Carla Schubert today, and she said that they are planning a meeting to decide the venue of the convention. And you say, the people will be coming to a convention in Florida. Do you think they will come to Florida?
Well, the convention was decided already in Fargo in 2019. It's because of the virus. We never went last year to the convention in Florida. And the association already spent over $4,000. And we have to understand that.
Hello?
And those money that people that work for the money that give those funds to the organization, and those amount have been used wisely. So we're not going to spend $4,000 already in Florida, and we are looking at things, the pandemic in America right now. Even we read the news today, things are very, very getting better. So we can't spend $4,000 of our money and give it to the Florida chapter, and then we're not attend the convention. And they're not going to be keeping our money over there for time indefinitely. So the venue is already being decided by the General Assembly. And I don't think those that want to change, thinking that maybe they can change the venue to another location or somewhere else, I think they are doing it to their own detriment. I don't think any wise person want to follow that or want to take that step to say that we're going to change the venue of the convention. And I believe that our people already decided in Fargo that we are going to Florida, and as well for me, that's where I'm going to be held in August.
Yeah, but Nathaniel Gatti has a question. He said, does he many years talking about President Geleo, does he have the right or authority according to the Constitution to appoint election officials?
Before, at the time that Mr. Geleo term was going to expire, that's why we were pushing the issue when we came from Fargo, because he was still having time on his side that he should appoint. Even when he asked one of the board members, we invited him several times, the board were pressuring him, Mr. President, Mr. President tried to sell out this election commission, and he didn't listen. He meant to say, and we have also have an issue in our constitution that will be addressed, because the way they wrote the law concerning when the president should make an appointment to the election commission, it was not. There's no term level. There's no like a time frame given. So it was just big. So these are some of the issues that we'll be addressing at our next convention. So we can't go back again after maybe 5 years, 10 years, or in the future for to deal with these type of issues. So the year of election, where the next president will appoint election commission will be like a month, and the date. Those things will be set up so that we can have these type of issues, you know. So like what the question the brother said, not at this time, because on our constitution, Mr. Geleo is no longer president for us or for the organization, and he cannot set up any election commission or have legitimate or authority to conduct election at this time.
Okay, all right, Mr. Sheba, thanks for calling so much. I like you participate on the show, and you especially one of the board members. So it's great to hear from you. I mean, the other board members don't normally come here to talk, but I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you, Doc. And I want to say one thing quick for those that are listening to us. The organization is in tight. We should focus on the mission that we really want to do to service and run our services to our people back home. I just returned back home, like things are very tough over there, and it's kind of so pathetic that we sit here and people want to fight for things that we have no reason of wasting our energy on. For us to kind of focus on better things, share ideas, and how best we can move the organization forward in terms of maybe plans in the future, what we can do for our people. We're here fighting for somebody who already aspire to say, "Oh, I'm still president of the organization." That is a complete dishonesty, and I will advise that those that trying to support Mr. Geleo, they should have a second thought. The organization belongs to SARPO people, and we want to all do the right thing to provide services to our people. It's not about individual.
All right. Before you leave, Nathaniel Gatti also has another question. Even though it's addressed to me, but saying you're a board member, I think it would be appropriate for you to. Yeah. He said, Doc, did the board ever extend the president's year during the COVID period?
Term after the August last year, there was some discussion. The board, even before that, the board came up with their own resolution. I mean, a term of reference, and that term of reference was not even introduced. The board select committee that wrote that term of reference, but then the LO decided, the LO council, that we have respect for, they decided to come into the picture and to work with the two groups, and the others said that, okay, you guys should work together. I think you'll be reading the proposal, some of the recommendations from the LO council on your show.
Right.
And everything that the LO council decided to propose, they rejected everything on Robert, and they said they're not going to listen to anything that others are proposing, and Mr. Geleo will still continue to be in power until the COVID is eradicated. And I mean, who knows when the COVID is going to finish? Things are getting better. So to answer the brother question, no, the board did not. The board don't have that power to extend the president's term. It's a generous, it's a generous. So the board is waiting to work along with the president, because we all have the health crisis, that is the national issues that we are facing. So in the middle of the health crisis, it was not the intention of the board to say, "Oh, Mr. Geleo, we're going to do this, we're going to do that," because we all know that people are fighting for the survival of their lives in America, and things were tough those days.
Right.
So the board cannot extend the president's term. So the board was trying to work with him. On several occasions of meeting held with the LO council, and none of the meetings were even fruitful. So we found ourselves where we are today, and there are some people that know the facts, but because maybe they believe that this is a body thing, and they just have to support somebody no matter what, and that's where we find ourselves right now.
Okay, all right, Mr. Sheba, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your participation. I really, really appreciate your time and the education as well.
Thank you, Doc, and thank you for the effort to try to give information to our people, and I hope that some of them will get something from out of it. It's from where we are right now, and we all want to move forward. We all want to have peace, but we cannot have peace when some people think that they are just here to to cause confusion, and we are not going to stand for that at all. Absolutely, we're not going to stand for that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, buddy. Have a good night too.
All right, guys. That's the great man, Milton Shibbe from Minnesota, a board member of the United SARPO Association over there. You just heard from the honorable man. All right, so let's get to, if you want to participate, the number is below, or if you want to come live, let me know. I can send you the link. Let me get to something here that I want to talk about next. Let me just write something here quickly, and now let me see a second here. All right, cool, perfect. Put the question mark over there, and then we'll get to that quickly. Come in there, guys, and we're gonna get to you quickly. All right, so let's get to my last talking point here for the night, and we'll call it a night after that. All right, so if you're joining me, welcome aboard. Appreciate all of you tonight for following the show. I mean, the turnout is also impressive. I always encourage you to please share the show so that your friends can be a part of the show. You can also watch Dr. Yopoda on your TV. We are live as well on YouTube and stuff like that. Now, the last thing I want to ask the question, or I'm asking two questions. Which commission has the backing of the Constitution? The Geleo's Commission or the Bowles Commission? All right. This question cannot be answered, or this question cannot be answered from the opinion of Dr. Yopoda. To borrow a phrase from the former president, Jiko Geleo, we want to go through the organic law of the union. The president would call and say, in keeping with the Constitution, but he does not give us precise clause in the Constitution to buttress the validity of what he's saying. And so my job is to give you the clauses, give you the duties or the responsibilities of the president, even though he's former now. So those that will come, I'm doing this as well to familiarize you with the document, to be conversant with the document. And so when you come, you will not have some of these basic blunders that President Geleo has been making, continue to make perpetually. So let's look at the Constitution here, for example. Let's look at, I read the General Assembly earlier, how the decision is binding, and so that's we read article that's 11 of the Constitution, section 2, which talks about the powers of the General Assembly. Let me see something else I want to look at here for us. Then look at, for example, the article 22 of the Constitution. Article 22, I'm reading the revised version, a version of the Constitution, and this one, the chairman for this is Mr. Andrew Usaa. He was the chairman, the people that revised the Constitution. The secretary, Slebi SINOE, is one of the guys as well, and Robert Tuba is part of this team and all of that. So those are all supporters of the president, and they give us the language that I'm about to read right now. So what I'm about to read right now is not for me. It was crafted by, written by Dr. Yopoda. The president key men what they gave us. The secretary to the president right now, the man who signed the Bocas commission of President Geleo. This is what they gave us. All right. So there will be arguments. Oh, the president is covered. The president is. So instead of going back and forth, we want to go through the language of the Constitution, what the guys gave us. So if you look at Article 22 of the Constitution, XX 11. All right, that's Roman numeral. So it's 22. If you convert it to Arabic numeral. All right, so which we use now, we say 22. So the turning of office here, section 1.2, it says all elected executive officers. Okay, I just read that. I said all. They say all elected executive officers. They didn't say board of directors. Okay, all elected executive officers shall serve the association for a period of 3 years, but not more than 2 consecutive terms. Okay, they can go for 6 years. All right, you can serve for 3 years, after which you go back to the ballot box if you want to remain in office. So that's Article 22 of the Constitution, Section 1.2. All elected executive officers shall serve the association for a period of 3 years, but not more than 2 consecutive terms. Okay, that's the language of the Constitution. Okay, that's what Slabby SINOE give us. That is what Mr. Andrew Usaa gave us. That's what Robert Tuba gave us. That's their own language here. Unless the president does not want to listen to his own appointees, then that's a different thing. Let's go to the next one. Let me read this, for example, when it comes to finance. What Slabby SINOE, Andrew Usaa, and Robert Tuba gave us with respect to money. All right, and that's the same Article 22 of the Constitution. Okay, and I want to look at section 1.9.0, where they talk about disbursement of funding. You know, the president has been withdrawing money from the account without the board approval. Okay, and that's one of the reasons why the board decided to send out a communication and say, sir, you are egregiously violating the Constitution. And besides that, you are not a member of the Constitution anymore. You are a constitutional outcast. All right. So the Constitution says here, Article 22 of Section 1.9.1, it says here all funding more than $500 shall require the approval of the Board of Directors of the United SARPO Association in Americas. President Geleo took $2,500 and gave it to Madam Dorothy Shadman without the board approval. Is that a bad thing? No, but it was not done in keeping with the Constitution. It has to be done in keeping with the Constitution. And also the president is crying foul right now. He said, oh, the board is doing his job. But what he did is also the job of the board. But that is not an issue when he does it. When he does the job of the board, that is okay. But when the board say, you know, sir, what you are doing, you are not in the scope of the Constitution. So the Constitution gave us the power, all corporate powers with us. So we are taking over. He said, oh, you're doing my job. You're appointing election commission. That's my job. But you withdraw money from the account without the board approval. That's their job as well. They have to give you approval in order to do that. All right. So that's why you say all funding more than $500 shall require the approval of the board of directors. The president took $2,500 and gave it. You are going to Liberia and took $7,000 without the board approval, and we can go on and on. Let's go to the next one. And this one here. Yeah, let me read something here quick, something different here, but I want to see the president just published the so-called electoral commission, and this is what the joint requirement of the publicity man. Now President Geleo is doing Robert Tuba's job. The publicity man yet section it is in article 22 of the Constitution. Let me make sure so I don't give you the wrong provision. Yeah, it's still on Article 22 of the Constitution. No, this is 5 Actually, 17 of the Constitution. It says here, section 1.6.2 on publicity. It says here, it says, they're talking about the publicity committee, which is Rabatuba. A shall advertise and promote the association's conventions and events, publish newspapers, official gazette, liaise with radio stations, create websites, and monitor all other websites in an effort to keep the association informed on development on the websites and to respond to negative propaganda against the association and the SARPO people. All right, this is the job description, part of the job description of Robert Tuba, and the people that were appointed, the president himself did it. And the response to the board of directors was the president, the secretary that published it. I don't know what the guy is doing. He's a motto that occupying space. Let's see. Let me get to the real deal here. Now read here is Article 16 of the Constitution. Let's look at here. Article 16 of the Constitution says here, Section 1.3, the national president shall, listen to the national president, talking about the details of the president now. One of the provisions, Section 1.3, on Article 16, it says, the national president shall, with the consent, there's a key word over there, with the consent of the board of directors, appoint the chairpersons and members of all standing and ad hoc committees. All such executive appointees shall serve at the will and pleasure of the national president. I want to read that again very slowly. Okay. The national president shall, with the consent mean agreement, with the approval, with the imprimatur, with the approbation of the board of directors. Okay, the national president shall, with the consent of the board of directors, appoint the chairpersons and members of all. They say all. They don't say some. All standing and ad hoc committee. So when you say all standing, the standing committee are committee that they are dead. You can't dissolve them. They're just there and doing their work. All right, from administration to administration, they only come when new administration comes, they appoint new people. But you can't dissolve them. But the ad hoc committee, those are committee after doing their job, they dissolve them. Okay, so they say all standing and ad hoc committees. The electoral commission is an ad hoc committee. Okay, and so President Gio cannot appoint without the approval or without the consent of the board of directors. So the first thing President Gio should have done is to forward those names to the board of directors for scrutinization, but he didn't do that. Again, the man is a totalitarian, a tyrant. He makes unilateral decisions. He doesn't take the other guys into consideration. Okay, power doesn't corrupt man. Man corrupts power. That's what you're seeing right there. And so that's Article 16 of the Section 1.3 of the Constitution. I got to the next one. On the same provision, the same Article 16, Section 1.8 of the Constitution, it says here, the national president shall recommend and forward names of all standing committees. If you repeat that again, to the chair, to the National Board of Directors for approval. Okay, it's the Constitution talking. The president did not do that. He doing your own thing. And the people around him, the men, one of the, I shouldn't say man, I say men. Robert Tuba, Mr. Andrew Usaa, Slebi Sine, these guys know. They say they are the crafters of the Constitution. But when the president is flagrantly, egregiously, viciously, diabolically, deliberately, unmercifully contravening the Constitution, they don't say anything. They sing hallelujah to President Geleo. Oh, Zanan to President Geleo. Am I supposed to condone that? Oh, no, I'm not. Now go to the next one. So we are asking the question, who has the legitimacy? Okay, so you're reading the commission or the Constitution, who is covered, all right? So far, the committee appointed by DO is not legitimate. It's not within the scope of the Constitution. And besides, the president is out already. So, I mean, I'm just doing it for educational purposes right now. So the next one here, Article 16 again, that's section 1.10. It says here, the board of directors shall take charge. The board of directors shall take charge of the association in the event that the first three heads of the association, this is the language of Mr. Andrew Usaa, Slabi Senate, Robert Tuba. The board of directors shall take charge of the association in the event that the first three heads of the association, president, vice president, and general secretary, are incapacitated. All right. As far as we know, the three guys are incapacitated. And that is why the honorable vice president, you don't see him commenting on anything. He doesn't participate because he understands. He reads the Constitution. He knows it. That he has been rendered incapacitated by the Constitution. And so that's what we call constitutional incapacitation. All right. And the man took off to defend the Constitution. And so because the three persons have been rendered incapacitated by the Constitution, the board is now in charge of the of the union. And that's why the guys are doing that. They're doing what they are doing right now. The board of directors, Article 16, section 1.10. The board of directors shall take charge of the association in the event that the first three heads of the association, president, vice president, and general secretary, are incapacitated. The Constitution has expelled the three heads, and so the board is now in charge. That go on. Every other provision in the Constitution, where it says here. Now look at Article 14 of the Constitution. All right, Article 14 of the Constitution, Section 3.1. It says here, all directors shall be elected to serve their required and stipulated term. However, the term may be extended until a successor has been elected. Is that clear? Let me read that again. All directors, not some directors, not few directors. All directors shall be elected to serve their required term, required and stipulated term. However, that's very important. However, let me say something else. However, the term may be extended until a successor has been elected. What that means is the guy can serve for 3 years. But if their successor, the people that are supposed to replace them, are not elected, they still remain until their successors are elected. That's what the Constitution is saying. The current board of directors, have their successors been elected? The answer is no. Therefore, they are still in charge of the union. The president has been run or disabled by the Constitution. Now go to the next one. Article 14, Section 3.4. It says here, the term of office. They're talking about the board of directors here. The term of office shall be considered to begin January 1st and end December 31st of the third year in office. Unless, see now, they're doing the transition again, unless the term is extended until such time as a successor has been elected. Andrew Usaa, Slabi Senate, and Robert Tuba also, they are telling us this. But then somebody will come and say, in North Dakota, the resolution from there says that the board of directors and the executive should go to Baraba. Is that true? Yes. But the Constitution still provides that in as much as there are no replacement for the board of directors, they still remain legitimate. They are still covered by the Constitution. They gave us two clauses in Article 6 or 14 of the Constitution. to protect the board of directors. Because they know they got the crafter of the Constitution, they anticipated something that they could happen. Okay, and that's why, because if you don't put this kind of provision in place, the organization will be with our leader or leaders, and so that's why they did that. And they were quite sapiential. It was wise, but now instead of obeying these scrupulous provisions they gave us, they say no. Everybody going for election. The board is not illegitimate. The president is not legitimate, and the board cannot tell the president anything. But why you give us this language? The language is not written in Greek. It's not written in Sanskrit. It's written in elementary English. And so what the noise is about in the union? There is no problem here. Let's see. Let me give you further provision in the Constitution here. Let's read. We'll talk about it. It's still on Article 14, if I'm not making a mistake here. But let's read. It says Section 2 here. They talk about the powers of the board. Now look at the powers of the board here. Section 2.1. It says here, in the absence of the General Assembly. Okay, the General Assembly are the people that can congregate at a place. I mean, we can agree, we'll go to convention, we agree and say next election will go to XYZ. So this year, last year, you are going to Florida, but because of the pandemic was standing. So, but the General Assembly, the decision is still binding on all of us. So we cannot abrogate the General Assembly decision. So we still have to go to Florida to fulfill the mandate of the General Assembly. Okay, so the General Assembly are those people that can meet in convention, the people sitting in convention, not the people sitting on a teleconference, not the people that are sitting at a chapter meeting. No, people sitting in convention according to your Constitution. Okay, in the absence of the General Assembly, all corporate powers shall be exercised by the or on the authority of the board, and the affairs, underline that word, the affairs of the United Sapota Association in Americas shall be managed. Okay, shall be managed, and they put that again, honor the direction of the board, except as otherwise provided by these bylaws. So what the noise is all about. All I have read so far, it did not cover the president. President Geleo cannot challenge Dr. Sayopode and say, this is a provision in the Constitution that protects me. Not one single syllable, not one single character in this document that President Geleo own commission, or the guys that he appointed, Slabby Senate, Mr. Andrew Usaa, Robert Tuba, the people that he appointed. Mr. Andrew Usaa is the Secretary General for Green Code Geleo. Mr. Slabby Senate is the project man, the committee chair for the organization. Robert Tuba is the publicity man for Green Code Geleo. And this is the language that they gave us. But now they are protesting to the contrary. You don't respect your own words. If you don't respect your own words, then why should we, respect you? Your words are your bond to us. And so this is why you gave us. And then you are going around and pushing President Geleo in the wrong direction. And he will go on, give a speech. I am the hurricane. I am coming to wipe everybody away. Roll your sleeves. I am the lion. I'm now in the cave. Nobody comes closer. When you do, I will bite you. You say all these things. And the guys are not saying, so no, Mr. President, don't say that. Don't do that. You can't say that. And that's why we're in your corner and give him pieces of advice over and over. And call him to no avail. He's not answering that. So you put it, he sees me as somebody, maybe enemy to me. I don't know. I never understood why you were doing all of that. All right, so those are some of the provisions I wanted to share with you. And I'll leave you guys enough backing from Dr. Sayoko, the esoteric, the pedagogue of the people. I'm the teacher of the people. I like to give the education, the little thing that I know. That's what you do. You share the little you know. That's how we propagate the knowledge. We spread the knowledge If you have it and you just keep it, and then you're just an automaton, a robot. Maybe there's some robots now they are talking, but you got to use it to transform the lives of somebody, to enlighten somebody, and stuff like that. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is what on the intellectual docket of Dark Side put it tonight. I didn't see comments or questions with a section of Nathaniel Gatti. Gatti want to say thank you for your participation. Appreciate all of you. We want to do our best to give our people the proper education. President Geleo and his team, they are trying to use rhetoric. Rhetoric is the science of bamboozlement. Is the science of getting people in the miasma or confusion. And so President Geleo and his team, they're trying to confuse the people. They speak all these words. We have critically and perused and studied, to put all the words together, and so that they can confuse our people. And the 7 of the people, the pro bono employee of the people I'm here to offer pro bono education. We want to say thank you very much for joining us tonight. Let me recognize a few people that I'm seeing right now. Seeing at least 15 persons following, against at least those that I'm seeing right now. So Sebastian, thanks for joining. The voice of SINOE, Jay Kilewit, Alexander Totet, and Oswinian. Let me put that in there before I'm chastised or maybe punished by the great man. Emilia Chijane, Vice President, thanks for joining us. The Reverend Sigisha Homo Sapien Jefferson Kamo, my biblical pedagogue. He taught me biblical education, and that is why I'm biblically savvy. I have Nathaniel Gatti. I recognize you. Who else here? I'm not seeing the rest of you. Just the people from my device. I'm not seeing the rest of you. We want to say thanks for following us. Let's see what we got here for entertainment. I like after I finished telling the truth, the hard truth, the uncomfortable truth. I just like to play in a reconciliation from the Quenga traditional music. And at the end of the day, after the little the tension, after the truth shall have racked your neurological cells, I have to come and bring the song so that we can placate you and modify you and propitiate you. So let me put the Quenga traditional music so that we can call it a night. Chair, did I say Jefferson? I said Jackson Camore, right? If I did pardon my lapse de lingua, slip of the tongue, but that's my teacher, Jackson Usaa Camore, I think. Yeah, we used to call him Opium Reverend. Yeah, back in the day, man, when the man enters class, he's not doing that thing, that old school thing, man, teaching you, not old school, man, give the Bible to you, All right, so I apologize, but okay, sorry when I say Jefferson, I always remember the former lawmaker for SANTO County, who was his sibling, but I will make sure to call the man the Reverend Holiness Jackson Camore. All right, let's play the traditional music and we are out for the night.
mule. Amunde mule. I say fana jire. Amunde mule. Papa second mo.
See a polyabo.
Sasa second mo.
See a polyabo.
Yes, yeah, yes, yeah, yes, yeah. Angele, angele, angele.
Yes, yeah, yes, yeah, yes, yeah. Angele. All right, guys, enjoy your night, and we shall talk next week.